Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you are at. We are back with another episode of The Real Wrestling Show, episode 204. Only 4 episodes away from doing it, a weekly show for 4 years, which is crazy. What we basically do is a rundown of Dynamite, a rundown of Rampage, and any specials that AEW do, which this week we haven't got any. I'm your host, Big Z. At the moment, Dawsy's not here because he's off with a little bit of sickness, which hopefully he'll be back for next week. So, everyone wish him the best. Message him, blow up his phone, whatever. But yeah, I'm the Ball Bastard Big Z. I'm going to run through Dynamite. It's going to be a pretty quick show, I think. Nothing long. I'll probably be looking down at my lap, looking at my notes most of the time, so I do apologise. But starting it off, we had an 8-man tag match, which was Bandido Orange versus Adam Cole. It was Bandido Orange, Adam Cole and Roddy Strong versus Jericho Appreciation Society. Pretty good opener this was. Jericho goes on comms wearing a black-eyed Britt Baker t-shirt. So I thought it was a bit of a bastard move by Jericho, but yeah, pretty good. Cole aggressive from the start. Everybody facing off, everybody fighting on the outside. Orange DDT to Hager was quite nice. Hager catching Orange on a dive and then a knee strike to Garcia. Then into the post, quite a nice spot. Bandido, nice dive by Jake and Garcia. To Jake and Garcia. Cole walking up the ramp to Jericho, stopped by 2.0. Double suplex by Bandido with the delays just before, which was quite nice. Orange dodging a 2.0. So they hit each other a couple of times. You know how he does. Hands in his pockets, just moving out of the way slowly. I thought that was pretty cool. Double suplex by I said that bit. Hager dumping 2.0. Hager dump 2.0. I don't know why I've written that. Obviously, probably happened. Garcia mocking Orange with a dance. Orange shoulder, odd shoulder tackle by Hager. Dodgy stun dog, which was Fat Head's fault. He came out of it a bit dodgy. Looked after these, backbreaker leg trap dump to Pinhead onto Garcia by Roderick Strong. That was quite nice. Angle slam by Roderick, gets 2. Weird tag by Orange, then just runs into the ring to be Dragon Slayed by Garcia, which was very odd. Very slow and a little bit blocky, like they forgot their spot maybe. Adam Cole super kicks to Garcia to make the save. Everyone does their favour. It's Beach Break by Orange, gets 2 count. Jewel dive by Bandido and Orange. Boom finish by Adam Cole. Pretty good match. I went with not one man in this match because, to be honest, I couldn't pick one. But 2.0 stood out massive for me. So, 2.0 tag of the match, I suppose. And I give it 3 moments. But for a pretty good starter, the one in massively high moments, it was a pretty good match. Lots of back and forth and stuff like that. So, after the match, Adam Cole attacks Jericho, knocks him straight through the backdrop on the comms. And then he's basically moaning and bitching, and they send out the Black Feds. There must be a couple of groups of them. They've got the Kid Feds, they've got the Referee Feds, and now they've got the Black Feds. So yeah, all good. They come out and break it all up. Then we move on to a promo backstage with Rennie, and it's Darby and Jungle Boy talking their tag team match tactics. Jungle Boy says that we are main eventing Double or Nothing. Darby says, me or you are winning the title from MJF, and that's that. It's nice. The storyline's been a bit predictable. We all knew it was going to be a 4-way right from the beginning. They haven't done enough to make it surprising, I suppose, for the younger fans, the ones that are a little bit more, oh my god, that's kind of worked. But yeah, for us older fans, we still want to see some surprise. So hopefully, there'll be something to it. MJF, no doubt, will probably take the belt. But there we are. Next up, we had a backstage segment. Security ejecting Adam Cole. Jericho screaming, he's dangerous. Britt comes up, slaps him in the face, and calls him Bitch Jericho. So that was pretty cool. And again, quite a short storyline build this is for Jericho Adam Cole. But it's working really nice at the moment. Then we had a promo backstage. Once again, no audio on the promo, which is happening quite often on AEW segments. It's not even like when they come back from break or anything. It's like they're going from matches to a promo and they're just not getting that right. It's getting a bit annoying. Brian Danielson says something about Bret Hart. Brian Danielson says that he's much better than Bret Hart. He's the best wrestler in the world, and if he's not, one of the BCC are. Want to make AEW the best wrestling company in the world, which can't fault that. Mock says the Elite is not special anymore. Talks Omega in a steel cage match next week. So yeah, bit of a spoil on there with the audio not being there. Next up we had Saraya versus Willow. It was an okay match, this was. I feel like Saraya's a little bit, I don't know, maybe still a little bit out of ring, a little bit of ring rust. You know, most of the time she looks pretty good, and, you know, we know she's got a lot of experience, but I don't know, I think the pace and the speed of the women's wrestling at the moment, I think Saraya's still a little bit catching up, do you know what I mean? Saraya running away from Willow early on. Ruby and Tony make a block. Missile dropkick by Willow gets 2 counts. Slow bit on the apron by Tony. With Tony holding the leg and Saraya running like she jumps over the rope and then runs and hits her on the apron. Wasn't too keen on that. Outcast attack on the outside. Willow into the guardrail. Ruby choking Willow in the ring. Dodgy spine buster by Willow gets 2 count. Small package by Willow gets 2 count. Nightcap by Saraya gets 2 count. DVD by Willow. Ruby and Tony make the distraction. Body check to Ruby into the ropes. And Tony knocked off the apron. Saraya hits a good night and then a DDT for the finish. Or it is a DDT for the finish of the match. So Saraya wins. I went with Willow man of the match. Willow's always impressed. And like I said at the beginning, Saraya's just a little bit blocky at the moment. And there was far too much interference in this match. But I give it just the one moment. It was an okay match. After the match, Outcasts attack Willow. Shida returns to a huge pop. Hugs the Outcast, which I was like, what? That is just devastating. Britt and Hater come from underneath the ring. And Shida's part of their group, which is cool. Saraya is sprayed in the face by Shida. Shida with a kendo stick to everyone. And then sprays AEW on the Outcasts, apparently. Even though that spray that they're using, dreadful. So. Next up, we had a promo, House of Black, new rules, open house. 3 competitors. 20-second count outs, no rope breaks, and DQ or not, I believe, is what they were trying to say, is basically that's your decision whether you want to be a DQ match or not a DQ match. Which, if that is the case, that's pretty cool. I like the fact that they've set some new rules on it. Makes it a bit more interesting, adds a bit more value to it. And a House of Black need something more than just promos every week. They need something slightly different. I'm not sure what. Maybe this could be it. Next up, we had the 6-man tag team battle royale. Oh dear, my laptop just died. Yeah, battle royale. We had Lucha Brothers, El Hijo Vikingo versus Varsity Athletes versus Dark Order versus Butcher and Blade and Kip versus QTV versus Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Fighting on the outside, bit of a brawl. I've just got the eliminations in it, so I haven't really got any. There wasn't much that went on, to be honest. So Davari knocks out Uno, knocks out Davari. QT knocks out Uno. Tightrope kick by Phoenix knocks out Nice. Vikingo knocks out Woods. QT knocks out AR. Lucha Brothers knock out QT solo. Hobbs knocks out Lucha Brothers. Hobbs knocks out Vikingo. Acclaim knock out Hobbs. Butch knocks out Max Caster. Blade hits a nice twisting neck breaker during the match. Blade knocks out John Silver. And then it's just the Acclaimed versus Butcher, Blade and Kip. Nice clothesline by Butch, flipping Billy around. Quite a lot of power in there. Bowens eliminates Blade, and then a dual famouser finished for the Acclaimed. So Billy and Anthony Bowens win the match. So the Acclaimed are the winners. So they, I would imagine, are the next contenders for something. Possibly. Next up we had a backstage promo with Renee. Sammy G says about last week, car being empty. MJF says he's got back pain from carrying the company. That made me laugh out loud. MJF says Sammy's gonna lay down like a little best friend. So again, nice little promo. The chemistry between them two, I gotta be fair, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Then we had another promo backstage. Omega and Don talks about Mox and the cage match next week on Dynamite, which this is being filmed on the night that is actually showing for us over in the UK. So it was on last night. I'll be watching it now in a bit. Next match, we have Wardlow versus Logan LaRue in a squash match. Struggled on the gorilla press. Clothesline, powerbombs finished. Almost dropped the guy on the last powerbomb. Wardlow man of the match, squash match, like I said. After the match, Wardlow calls out Christian and Luchasaurus, says you can have an open title shot. Christian comes out and says the title shot is for me, not for Luchasaurus. And then Luchasaurus is looking on like, what the fuck? So, I don't know what's going on there. Next up, we had a video promo. Sanjay and Co at the Briscoes farm. Trying to get information about FTR, seeing if they will... seeing if Briscoe will give them tips on how to beat FTR as they beat FTR at the last ROH show before, sadly, Mark passed away. Yeah, Sanjay got Briscoe a singles match as well, which I will talk about in Rampage. Then we had Starks vs Juice Robinson. It was a pretty good match this was. They had really good chemistry. Juice in a guardrail, very stiff. I was quite sick. Flapjack by Starks on the outside, or I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to call it Flapjack. Starks gets checked into the steps. Starks walks up the steps with Juice and then throws him out to the floor. Stiff clothesline into the corner by Juice. Big backdrop by Starks. Very dangerous DDT by Starks, but I think it was Juice's fault. He didn't actually twist properly, but at the last second he managed to do it without killing himself. Suplex jackhammer by Starks. Cannonball by Juice. Hurricanrana by Juice. Clothesline gets 2 count. Cross chops to the face of Juice was a bit dodgy. Spear Rochambeau finish from Ricky Starks. I went with Starks man of the match and I give it a 5 moments. A Booker 5 time. After the match, Jay attacks Ricky Starks. And then Starks kind of gets a bit out of him, goes for the Rochambeau, and Juice makes the save. And then Jay's giving it all, your time will come when I say so. So, yeah, great match I was. Then we had a video promo from a little bit of the Firm Deletion and Hype and Build, which was very much looking forward to watching this on Rampage. And it didn't disappoint. But next up, we had a promo. Jungle Boy and Darby hyped. MJF enters after Darby says he's going for the skateboard. Tells Jungle Boy that he should betray Darby. Darby comes back in, and then there's a little bit of animosity between the both. And then, talking about that, we are now on to the main event of Dynamite, which was Jungle Boy and Darby versus Sammy G and MJF. If Jungle Boy and Darby win, then it becomes a 4-way, which it was always going to be at Double or Nothing. Pretty great match this was, probably the match of the night. Darby gives a skateboard to a fan on the way down to the ring, which I thought was nice. Darby's schooling MJF early on. MJF blindsided by Darby. Sammy using a scarf to choke Darby. Darby choking Sammy G and MJF. Jungle Boy into the guardrail. MJF, Sammy G talking abortions halfway through the match, which I thought was fucking wrong. Assisted abdominal stretch. Referee kicks MJF and Sammy G's arm, which, let's be fair, that's how it should be done. There should be none of this disqualification or blah 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 crap. Jungle Boy cleans house. Jungle Boy dives, 3 each for Sammy and MJF. And then Darby does the last one when Sammy moves out the way. That was sick. Dodgy Tiger Driver by Jungle Boy gets a 2 count. Both Code Red to Sammy G. Code Red to Sammy G, my bad. I wrote Code Breaker. Yeah, Code Red to Sammy G was sick. MJF reversed Code Red into a powerbomb, which he almost fucked up, but he actually brought it back to Darby. Snare trap by Jungle Boy. Sammy G makes a save. Sammy G and MJF double dive. MJF stops on the run and just lets Sammy do the dive, and then makes out that, oh, I was just in here waiting, throw one in. Brutal DDT by MJF, like proper brutal to Jungle Boy. Gets 2 count. MJF tries to steal the pin from Sammy after he hits a shooting star, I think it was. Gets 2 count. They have a bit of a bicker. Dodgy knee powerbomb by MJF, and Sammy G tags in to make the pin. Gets a 2 count. And then they break down. MJF slaps Sammy G. Super kick to MJF. Darby steals a pin off Jungle Boy after he hits his move with a coffin drop. for the finish of the match. MJF and Sammy lose. Darby gets the pin with Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy man of the match though in this for me. And I give it 9 moments. Quite a big match. There was a lot of spots in it. A couple of them were fuck-ups, but ultimately they did bring them back. The match carried on going. It looked good. Everything was entertaining. So after the match, MJF is screaming at some kids up on the ramp like a lunatic. So, yeah, overall, a pretty decent show. Building up for what is going to be a great pay-per-view at the end of the month. So, yeah, looking forward to it. But, yeah, I'm going to have 5 minutes. And I'll be back to talk about Rampage. So, now I'm going to do a rundown of Rampage. Again, it's going to be pretty quick. Just some short notes. It wasn't a great... Why is it a cock on my page? What a bellend. Yeah, there wasn't a great deal that went on. It's a decent show. But starting it off, we had Lucha Brothers and Vikingo versus QTV. Great match this was. Implosion Hurricanrana by Vikingo. Dodgy Phoenix Splash by Vikingo. Pentacross Body. Hobbs clouting Phoenix midair. And then catching Vikingo for the powerbomb. Phoenix Tightrope Kick. Vikingo diving Hurricanrana. Triple dive by the Lucha Brothers and Vikingo. Lucha Brothers and Vikingo triple tag. Gets 2 count. Backdrop X Factor by Solo, looked wicked. Flip out powerbomb by QT was nice. Canadian by Penta. Terrible side slam by Hobbs. Rolling cutter from Phoenix. Canadian off the top. Onto the apron to QT by Vikingo. Hobbs choking Alex on the outside. Lucha Brothers stamp pile driver, which I forgot what it's called, so I do apologise. For the finish of the match, I went with Vikingo man of the match, and there was 8 moments in it that I thought were quite memorable. Or as Dorsey would call them, Yowie Wowies. But, yeah, pretty great match. Vikingo, he can't really go wrong at the moment, like, other than maybe getting bashed up by other people and potentially getting injured because he is a flippy-dippy guy, like, you know what I mean? But, yeah, fantastic match. Next up, we had a promo after the match. MJF kicking off backstage because of the 4-way outcome, throwing stuff around, which he sells it so good, I gotta be fair. And we will be going to Wembley. And I've got MJF's purse by there, which I might take. Next up, we had a promo with Lexi backstage. Jericho's afraid to come out of his room. He said he needs his assurances that Adam Cole won't be in the same building that he is. There'll be more on this next week. I'm not sure if this is an actual like piss take of the way the CM Punk and this new Collision show is panning out, and if it was a piss take. But yeah, apparently they can't be in the same place at the same time. Whatever. Next up, we had a squash match. Jade versus Gia Scott. Jade man of the match. Titty Buster finish. Moving on. Promo with Lexi backstage. Briscoes and Sanjay interrupts, and they're talking FDR, seeing whether or not he thinks that they will actually take the tag team. And he says, look, I can't speak for them, but I would imagine that they're not going to turn it down. Then leading into the Briscoe versus Preston Vance. A.K.A. 10 of the Dark Order. 10 rips up the signs of Briscoe's kids early on, flipping neckbreaker off the apron by Briscoe. Briscoe flips off the top onto the chairs on the outside. That looked wicked. 4 guardrails to Briscoe. So chucked into every guardrail all the way around the ring. Nice back and forth power shots. Chops and clotheslines. Dodgy flatline facebuster by Briscoe. Chair distraction by Jose. And 10 hits the low blow, gets a 2 count. Dive off the chair by Briscoe, and then a J Driller for the finish of the match. It was an okay match, this one. I went with 10 man of the match and 3 moments. So yeah, Mark Briscoe wins. After the match, kids come into the ring to celebrate. So yeah, that was nice as well. And I believe one of the kids that was there was one of Jay's kids, I think. I'm not 100% sure on it. Next up, we had a promo Lexi backstage with Dustin. He's talking about Austin, Texas, first time that they've been there. And he gets jumped by Cage. Swerve then comes in, starts laughing. Keith Lee walks in and says, why are you running away? And clearly they walked off screen. They didn't run anywhere. They just literally stepped off screen like they didn't. It's too quick. Everything was too fast moved on. Or like a lot of these segments are now. It's like you're having someone talk blah, 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 and then they're getting jumped. And it's like everything's happening so quick, like, oh, well, you can clearly see that Keith Lee didn't run in with any vigour. He just stepped in off camera. You know, it's not looking with any sort of emphasis or anything like that. So they need to pick up on that as well. Next up, we had a promo, Julia, Anna Jay, Hype and Bill. Then we had another promo, Garcia, Orange, Hype for Dynamite. Then we had the main event, which was the Firm Deletion match. It was pretty good. There have been better ones in the past. But yeah, very, very entertaining. There is a director's cut as well online on YouTube that you can watch, which I think is 21 minutes long. A couple of extra things, but to be honest, they captured everything pretty well on Rampage. So starts off though with the Firm rocking up and saying, "How do we get in here?" Blah 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 blah. And then Vanguard one with Matt Hardy poking out the top basically turns daytime into nighttime. And then they get the fireworks. Bill got chucked into the tree, Jeff into the tree, Isaiah slammed into the tree, and a choke slammed on a mud, which I bet hurt a little bit. Suplex Hardy into Ego, stick over Hardy, stick over Bill's back, and then choked out. Bill's KO'd. Hardy kids chasing Stokely on a little quad. That was cool. I like that. Side effect in a ring by Hardy gets 2 count. Hook suplexes Stokely in the ring. Power slam through the table by Matt. Dodgy to Ego. Dodgy twist of fate by Bill makes a save with a chair. Stokely in the cinema. Benjamin and Rebby hit him with a taser. They take him in a ring. Rebby beats him up a little bit, and then the Hardy kids. Oh no, my bad. In the cinema, they beat him up. Hardy's kids beat up Stokely in the cinema. Isaiah Swanton off the container after moaning, going, "Oh." That was a good spot. Quite like that. Orgasmic Isaiah, I knew you'd come. Stokely Swanton onto Stokely by Maxwell. Moriarty through the table. Leg drop off the ladder to Isaiah. By Isaiah to Bill. Beat down on Ego by everybody. Swanton by Jeff for the finish of the match. Yeah, it's pretty good. And honestly, I know it sounds mad, but I went Stokely man of the match in this because he was just entertaining right the way through it. His character was like picked on and bullied and beaten up by the kids. It was just brilliant, you know. 7 moments I give it. No doubt though, Dorsey would probably give it more. Or less, I don't know, but it would have been a pretty high number. After the match, Jeff walks off and lights up the sand and the pattern of his kind of brand with fireworks, which I thought was a nice way to go out of that, which they always do something with fire. They started off with the fireworks and finished off with the fireworks. So yeah, it was a pretty decent show again. You know, overall, I think the entertainment from AEW this week was pretty good, pretty on point. It wasn't stale. It wasn't like top of the range, but it had you watching, you know. So yeah, but that's all I've got for Dynamite and Rampage. Now we can move on to a little bit of news. There's not a great deal there. Gonna run through them quick. All In for London Wembley has sold over 60,000 tickets so far, which is awesome. Nobody thought that they could get anywhere near. That's outsold Clash at the Castle. Yeah, so hopefully the numbers can only go up when they start actually advertising matches. So they've got lots of seats still left. But apparently, by all accounts, the whole arena is going to be open to fans. So that would be awesome. And already got tickets. We're going to be very close to the front. Next bit of news, Nigel McGuinness trademarks Nigel McGuinness for wrestling purposes and t-shirts and merch and stuff like that. So hopefully, again, with All In just around the corner, you might see Nigel McGuinness getting back in the ring for one more time. Next bit of news and last bit of news, Eddie Kingston has undergone a hernia operation. By all accounts, it's gone pretty well. And now he's just got to basically recover from the initial surgery. So, yeah, so go well, Eddie Kingston. Yeah, that's all I got. So, yeah, it's been a bit somber without Dorsey here. But like I said, he's fixing an illness at the moment. So hopefully he'll be back next week. And we'll be back with another episode of The Real Wrestling Show with episode 205. I'm not sure if some weeks I've been saying it as 104 or 103, but it's definitely 205. We got some other videos online, merchandise memoirs, a couple of videos of Dorsey jumping off the bar, hitting someone with a skateboard. The greenhouse as well, which we used to talk about Dark and Ramp and Elevation, but to be honest, they got so long, it was so difficult to note on each thing when everything was just a squash match. There was no predictability. I'm a little bit gutted that we stopped talking about it. Now the fact that it has finished or has been announced that it's going to be finishing, like, you know. But yeah, check those out, see what you think. We've been doing this from the very inception of AEW. Yeah, I don't think we've missed a week, like a couple of weeks that I've missed or Dawsey's missed, but there has been an episode every week. So yeah, go and check out all that stuff. Please like, subscribe, share. Thank you to anybody who has helped us do the blog. But yeah, I've been Bigsy. Dawsey haven't been here, but he will be next week. So thank you for watching, and catch you next week. Peace.